What is up, guys? Delboy here. So this weekend we have a lightweight unification fight between Mikey Garcia and Robert Easter Jr. First and foremost, annoyingly so far this fight hasn't got any UK TV coverage from what I can see, so this could be a stream job. It depends what I'm doing on Saturday. If I'm not doing anything, I will stay up and watch it. But annoyingly, so far, it doesn't have any UK TV coverage, which is annoying. You know, it's a lightweight unification fight. Mikey Garcia is quite a big name in the sport. You'd imagine that somebody would have picked it up. But at this stage, it's looking increasingly unlikely. But let's talk about the fight. I'm going to do a quick preview and a quick prediction for this fight. Let's talk about both guys and their dimensions, their records, what they bring to the table. We'll start with Mikey Garcia. He has a record of 38 wins with 0 defeats, 0 draws. 30 of those 38 wins coming by way of stoppage. Robert Easter Jr. has a record of 21 wins, 0 defeats, 0 draws. 14 of those wins coming by way of stoppage. So on paper, you know, Mikey Garcia is probably the more heavy-handed guy out of the two. Let's talk about both guys' dimensions, and this is quite interesting. Mikey Garcia is listed as 5'6" with a 68-inch reach, whereas Robert Easter Jr. is listed as 5'11" with a 76-inch reach. So that means Robert Easter Jr. has an 8-inch reach advantage on Mikey Garcia, and also he's 5 inches taller. That is quite a substantial height and reach difference. The only issue with that is that looks great on paper, but recently Robert Easter hasn't been fighting to his physical strengths. You know, Robert Easter hasn't been keeping guys at the end of his jab. Robert Easter hasn't been making the most of his height and keeping range. No, he's been fighting up close. He's been brawling. You know, he's really struggled to make the most of his height and reach. You know, if you see his last fight against Javier Fortuna, he just couldn't keep range with Fortuna at all. You know, he couldn't dictate with a jab. He couldn't time that right hand down the pipe. You know, Fortuna was just keep on walking up on him, getting under his shots and working on the inside. And before that, he fought Denis Shafikov. Again, Denis Shafikov is a very small guy at lightweight compared to Robert Easter Jr. And again, I mean, Denis Shafikov had no problems getting on the inside on Robert Easter. Shafikov's a good fighter, he's very skilled, but Easter can't be getting walked down by guys like this. He needs to be making more of his height and reach. And even before that, against Richard Comey. Now, Comey's a bit of a bigger lightweight, but again, Easter was the bigger man, longer reach, and he couldn't maintain range at all. So recently, I don't think Easter has been doing a good job of that. If you go back in the past, he fought a guy called Argenis Mendez, and that is still the best I've ever seen Robert Easter box. He was actually using a jab effectively that night, and using that long right hand behind it, and he actually knocked Mendez out with that right hand off the top of my head. So I think he can do it, but you know, for whatever reason, he just kind of reverts to type and just starts to brawl. And against Mikey Garcia, that's not the right idea. You know, Garcia to me is a classical boxer. He's very textbook. He delivers all of his shots in a very correct way technically. Garcia to me is a guy who doesn't have any sort of outstanding athletic ability. You know, he's not super explosive. He's not super quick. But Garcia has a very good understanding of the sport. He understands keeping range. He's got very good timing. I think he sets traps exceptionally well. You know, he's a good counter-puncher. Like I said earlier, he delivers all of his shots technically very well. And he works off the jab very well also. Mikey Garcia, to me, is just a really well-schooled boxer. And also, he has quite good power as well. You know, that's Mikey Garcia to me. And skill for skill, I think he's a lot better than Robert Easter Jr. And I think Garcia is going to be doing his usual thing. I think he's going to be waiting for Robert Easter to come onto him. I think he's going to expect Easter to be aggressive like his last few fights, and I think he's going to expect Easter to try and come forward and make the most of his sort of size advantage and really try and get on top of Garcia. And that could work because there is a substantial size difference. Maybe Robert Easter could actually drown Mikey Garcia. I can't see that happening, but it's definitely a possibility because like I said earlier, when there's that much of a size discrepancy, it could definitely happen. But I actually think that Robert Easter needs to fight disciplined in this fight. I think he needs to go back, and watch his performance against Argenis Mendez, and he needs to try and make Mikey Garcia take the lead. He needs to try and make Mikey Garcia come forward. I don't think Mikey Garcia is as good going forward as he is sort of when a guy's coming onto him. So I would like to see Robert Easter actually do something a little bit different. I want to see Robert Easter use his range, use the jab, use that long right hand, and try and make Mikey Garcia come to you. Now, obviously, Mikey Garcia still poses threats coming forward, but like I said, I just don't think he's anywhere near as effective on the front foot. You have to go back a few years, but if you watch his fight with Cornelius Locke, and I've not seen this fight for a long time, but Locke was kind of an awkward guy. He liked to move on the back foot, and he made Mikey Garcia lead. Although Mikey Garcia got the win, I felt Locke did a good job of frustrating him. And Locke isn't anything special. Easter's a lot bigger than Locke. He's got more power than Locke, and I think overall he's just in a better place than Locke was. So that's how I think Robert Easter should actually play this. I don't think he should revert back to type and brawl. He needs to make the most of his range and try and keep Mikey Garcia at bay, make Mikey come forward and see what happens. And if that doesn't work, then Robert Easter can go back to type and try and make the most of his size advantage and really get on top of Mikey Garcia. Kind of how Margarito did to Cotto all those years ago. Just get on top of him, start clubbing away, work the body, and just try and maul him and lean all over him and tire him out. So I feel that Easter needs to start on the back foot. He needs to start popping the jab and see where that takes him, and then adjust his game plan accordingly. As for Mikey Garcia, to me, he just needs to be Mikey Garcia. I don't think Robert Easter will do what I said he should do, or what I think he should do. I think Robert Easter's going to kind of revert to type. He's going to be sloppy. He's going to be sloppy with that jab. He's going to come forward, throw that right hand, and he's going to leave Mikey Garcia a lot of gaps to expose. One area I see Mikey having success is when Robert Easter throws his shots, even when he tries to throw straight punches, he still manages to throw them quite wide, and not only that, he comes in square on a lot. So I think Mikey's straight punches, despite him having significantly shorter arms, could get there first because, he just delivers them technically better. He delivers those shots straighter, and he can deliver them shorter as well. So I feel that Mikey Garcia's right hand could actually get there first when Robert Easter is coming forward and throwing his shots. And I think Mikey Garcia's straight punches could definitely land on the target from what I've seen of Robert Easter so far. Coming forward, I just think Robert Easter will leave way too many gaps for Mikey Garcia to expose. Unless he's really improved his cutting off a ring ability and his defense coming forward, he's going to get lit up like a Christmas tree. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's just going to get pieced up coming forward. He's going to struggle with Garcia's timing and judge of range. He's going to struggle with Mikey Garcia's balance. And I think Garcia is going to outbox him to a late stoppage or a points win. I just don't see Robert Easter being a smart enough fighter to adjust. I don't think Robert Easter is developed enough to stick to a game plan. And defensively, Easter has shown a lot of vulnerabilities in the past, But yeah, I'm going to go with a Mikey Garcia points or late stoppage win. What do you guys think? Peace.